Good morning guys, it's tech time, and in today's video we are going to make a different type of video, and that is we are going to take a sneak peek at the upcoming Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Plus. So that means we are going to be looking at leaks and rumors. So without any further ado, let's get started. So the Samsung Note lineup has always been the phone that has everything from a really big display to a stylus. It has everything except for a headphone jack, which is a bit sad, but the Note series have always been popular for people who need power and have unlimited budget. And the Note 20 Plus, well, at least on paper, delivers like a beast. So in this video we will talk about the rumored specs, design, display, camera, special features, battery, price and launch date. The Note lineup always have two variations in the spec department. One is the Samsung Snapdragon 865 variant, which is sold in places such as the US. And then there's the Exynos version, which is sold worldwide. But in recent time, and by recent time I mainly mean the Samsung S20 lineup, specifically the Snapdragon variant has been the more powerful. Whereas in previous years they used to be equally good between the two. But this year the Exynos version might, and the emphasis here is all might, come close the gap between the Snapdragon 865. This is because this year the chipset used in the Note 20 Plus will be the Exynos 992 and not the Exynos 990 which was used in the Samsung S20 Ultra. The difference is that the 992 is a 5nm processor and has slightly better performance. But this is still rumored, so I cannot say that it's going to be powerful, but it should be. But since the Exynos 990 was a bit lackluster compared to the Snapdragon 865, hopefully the Exynos 992 can close the gap. Now, moving from the processor, the Note 20 Plus is expected to come with 12GB of LPDDR5 RAM and 256GB of UFS 3.1 storage as the baseline model. The phone will come with an in-display ultrasound fingerprint sensor, and all these specs can only shout one thing, and that is this phone is going to be powerful nonetheless. The Samsung S20 has a very fascinating design. And the Note 20 also seems to have its genes. The phone is a glass sandwich, with the glass being made out of Gorilla Glass 6 and the frame being made out of aluminum, which is the usual. But the dimensions of the camera bump will be the same as the S20. The placement of the camera will look a bit better than the S20's placement, at least I hope so. Other than that, there is nothing interesting on the back side of the phone. On the bottom we will have the Type-C port and the stylus, though we will talk about more about the stylus in the special features section. Other than that, the power and volume button are on the right side of the frame, though there isn't rumored of any of the colors which are going to come. Coming to this display, we have the best display Samsung offers. That is the Note 20 Plus will have a 6.9-inch punch hole dynamic AMOLED display, which is rumored to be flat. Like the S20, the resolution is 1440 into 3200 with a PPI of 509 and a record-breaking peak brightness of 1342 nits, which can make the display look like you are using it in the night even when the sun is super bright. The display also supports HDR10+, and the best part of the display is that it can run at 120Hz at FHD resolution, which is awesome. The Note 20 will be one of the best displays a phone can have. The S20 was a bit of a disappointment for the camera. It had major autofocusing issues and had unneeded features such as the 100x zoom, which mostly no one ever used. And it seems like the same sensors are being used again. The rear camera is going to be the 108 megapixel main camera with an aperture of f1.8. Then we have a 13 megapixel periscope camera, which is going to be the sensor which allows the camera to zoom up to 50x hybrid. The periscope camera will have an aperture of f3.4. Then we have the 12 megapixel ultra-wide camera with an aperture of f2.2. The video capabilities of the phone is that it can record 8K at 24 frames per second. Coming to the front camera, it will be a punch hole camera that is a 40 megapixel sensor with an aperture of f2.2. The front camera can record up to 4K at 60 frames per second. But even though on paper the camera is good, but I hope that it does not turn out as the S20 came out. Coming to the special features, the Note is one of Samsung's only phone that has a stylus. The stylus gives many other features to the phone, like you can make it a remote to take a picture or use it to draw on the massive display and take notes, even if you are in a meeting and have to note down things very quickly. Other than the stylus, the phone has a super zoom camera, which I still see very less use of unless you are a stalker. The phone will also come with an in-display ultrasound fingerprint sensor and Wi-Fi 6. Other than that, we don't have anything else. The Note 20 lineups are always equipped with massive batteries to compensate for the huge display and refresh rate. Even in the Note 20 Plus, we are expected to get a battery size between 4500 mAh and 5000 mAh. Well, whichever it may be, the battery will deliver as good as the S20, at least the Snapdragon variant, which had great battery life and lasted close to a full day even when using it at 120 Hz. So the Note 20 Plus is also expected to do the same in both versions this time, hopefully. The phone will support 45 watts charging and will come with wireless charging and reverse wireless charging at 15 watts and 9 watts respectively. Coming to the price, we are expecting the baseline model to cost around $1,049 or 969 euros. The baseline model will come with 12 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigabytes of storage. Though we haven't heard about the price of the high-end model, which will come with 16 gigabytes of RAM and 512 gigabytes of storage. But let's move on to when the phone might be announced. The phone is expected to be announced on the 5th of August and be ready to sell on August 20. The Note is also expected to be releasing alongside the next Fold, which is also exciting. So we still have about 1.5 months before the Note 20 Plus gets announced. And that will be it for our first ever Leak and Rumors episode. If you want another Leak and Rumors episode on another phone, then comment the phone name down below. And while you're at it, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and ring that bell. And as always, goodbye.